Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. In today's episode, we're entering the world of public speaking, and I'm going to be answering the question, are PowerPoints evil? There was this one event that I went to one time where there was this speaker who was a real estate businessman mixed in with a technology businessman. I was talking to him prior to his presentation, and I thought he was a very smart individual. When he told me that he was going to be presenting at this event, I was excited. I thought, I'm going to learn a lot of things from this guy. By the time he gets on stage, he starts to make what I call a public speaking faux pas. He begins to use his hands a little too much. See, what he's doing is that he's describing these drones that his company creates in order to give potential clients a walkthrough of the house. And he's over here describing the drones, and he's using his arms like this as he's trying to present. And as he's trying to create these motions to recreate the drones, I started to get dizzy. Others started to get dizzy. Others in the audience began to mock him. They're like, ooh, you see, he moves his hands too much. And if you were able to tune out the distractions, which a few people were, you'd be able to hear the message. The message was pretty revolutionary. He was talking about how technology and drones were going to affect a lot of offline businesses, and it was a great time to begin preparing. This was in 2019, and we know how technology evolves very quickly, right? So in many ways, he was spreading a Messiah-like message, but it wasn't heard. It wasn't heard because his body language was too distracting. This is a perfect situation where a PowerPoint would have helped. If I could have just seen what the PowerPoint looked like, I'm pretty sure these motions would have been reduced by at least 15%. Because the speaker didn't have to mimic something that didn't need to be mimicked. But if I could see the videos of these drones in action, which a PowerPoint can hold, by the way, then these motions would have been reduced by 55%. So if these motions are being reduced by 55%, now the Messiah-like message can overwhelm the body language quirks. So I don't think PowerPoints are evil. I believe PowerPoints are highly misunderstood. I believe what needs to be understood is the perspective in regards to PowerPoints. In order to use PowerPoints, view it as a guard dog, a servant. This servant is meant to serve you. You are not meant to serve it. A person serves the PowerPoints when they just read off the PowerPoints. And they read off the PowerPoints when they make it too easy on themselves to read off the PowerPoints. And what do I mean by this? This means that you don't know your presentation well enough. And you may be nervous as well, but more often than not, it's not the nerves, it's the ignorance in strategy. To help out with this, first of all, you just want to ask yourself the question, are PowerPoints needed in this presentation? Will it amplify my talk versus take away from my talk? If you answer, it will amplify my talk, very similar to that real estate developer who built the drones, now you could proceed to the next step. The next step is, how can I create this PowerPoint in a way where I can deliver my talk even without it? This removes the reliance, and now you become the master. You're one of those guys that's like, I don't need you. I'm just using you because you will help me. Once the narrative is in your favor, that is when you design the PowerPoint. And you will design it in a completely different way versus if you're dependent upon it. Your slides are going to be leaner. There's going to be bullets rather than paragraphs. There's going to be pictures rather than bullets. You're going to simplify it. And this is how you give the audience a beautiful experience when using PowerPoints. So to wrap up the question, PowerPoints are not the enemy. PowerPoints can be your friend. You just need to understand how to use it correctly. And you can use it correctly by making it your loyal servant rather than you becoming the servant to it. If you enjoyed today's talk, go on and drop that like for me right on below. And thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel.